Hello, everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Mostly?
Before we get started, same old spiel. You know it already. Go to all of our, wherever you find us. Follow, like, subscribe, maybe comment, maybe rate us,
Anything.
Whatever you want to do.
We love you.
Yeah, we really do. We make this for you.
We do.
And we make it to kind of break up the monotony of life sometimes, too.
Sometimes you need to break up your 9 to 5 monotony, yeah.
But we like doing this, and we like providing entertainment. So if you like us, too, feel free to, shout us out, give a like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Okay, done with the spiel.
Okay.
So, tonight we watched a movie. This is the end of 83.
This is the end of 83. This is also, probably the most, at this point, well-known movie we've had.
I think so, because, we did Manos, which a lot of people have heard about, but a lot of people haven't watched. But that was like our first episode. We've come a long way.
We have come a very long way.
So I would say, yeah, this is like our most, like, a lot of people know about this movie.
A lot of people love this movie for good reason, but this is definitely like...
It's a good movie. Like, it really is. Like, we've both seen it, obviously, but
we've both seen it before.
We wanted to end 83 with, like, a really good movie.
A great, like, campy B movie.
Well, in that way, like, if people don't know about it, they can go watch it. Because I would recommend this.
Oh, if you don't know about this movie. First things first. The final film of the year is Sleepaway Camp.
Yes.
Now, I will say this right now, because we do get into spoilers. For the love of fucking Christ, if you listen to this podcast, please watch this movie before you listen to us spoil it.
Yes, please go watch it and just like kind of enjoy it for yourself, because
please.
The ending is just so, you have to see, like, I don't know, like the last like 15 minutes of the movie is just so insane. You have to like watch it for yourself.
You have to see this.
Because
you have to see this.
There's, like,
I don't care.
If you are into slashers, especially like 80s slashers.
Oh, this hits so many sweet spots.
Yeah, go watch this. Like, there's not like a lot of deaths, but the deaths that are in here are effective as hell. They're so good.
It's effective. There's a constant mystery. I like the plot, but my God, you have to see where this fucking goes.
Yeah.
You just have to see this.
So go watch Sleepaway Camp. If you have a Shout Factory like subscription, it might be free on Shout Factory's website too. I know they have a lot of stuff on there. We watched it because I have like a subscription to Shout Factory on Prime. It's one of my channels. Shout out.
But if you don't have a subscription, you could easily rent it.
You can rent it or get it by other means that we won't talk about on the podcast.
And it looks fucking beautiful.
And it's really good. It's a really good rip. Shout Factory did a really good job.
This is a fantastic remaster. Like, this movie, it looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah, and so I don't know. And obviously they did it because of the demand. So that's why
people love this movie.
People do love this movie, and I love this movie too.
There's psychopaths like us who watch this, and we are smiling for the whole 85 minutes, and it's beautiful.
Well, I also like this because it's one of those like slasher movies that makes me feel uncomfortable at the end.
Oh, honey,
like, it gets that like. That tingles in the back of your spine.
I'm just going to say right now, if you haven't watched this movie, please turn off the podcast right now, because I'm going to start talking.
Oh, we're going to go right into it. Okay.
Because I agree with you. The ending of this is up there with, like, Blair Witch Project in terms of, like, it just gives you that fucking, like, indescribable, like, fear.
Right.
It's like, I actually saw this it was on a YouTube comment. It was actually someone uploaded the ending to this on YouTube, and one person commented that the reason it's so disturbing is because every element of the ending is so wrong that, like, your brain can't process it, and that scares you.
Yeah.
And that is how I feel every time I watch this ending. It's so off and wrong and weird.
Well, every time I watch it, it's always like there's a certain point, and I mean, we'll get to that point. There's a certain point where I start feeling very uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's when the counselor finds the sleeping bags.
Yes.
And then from that point on, I'm just like so uncomfortable. And then the end of the movie is just like the fucking biggest mic drop.
When you see the flashback with that fantastic fucking like 360 shot.
Well, it's like this weird, like ethereal, like
yeah, like her like.
Because you can see her breath and everything.
And it's like it's all like
crazy.
bathed in blue. It looks so wrong, but like once you get the reveal, you're just sitting there like your body like it like makes your body recoil.
Yeah,
it's so wrong.
Yeah,
because it's like your brain can't comprehend what the fuck you're watching. That's why it's so fucking deranged.
Well, no,
and
when I first watched it, and even watching it now, like it's still,
even after you've seen it, it's still disturbing.
It still gave me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's like I don't get scared watching horror movies, but the ending to this does give me the chills.
Yeah, it's unsettling.
It's
really
genuinely like some deranged fucking. So here's what's funny: the guy who made this movie, after he made this, he'd never made another movie again, which is like insane to me. He became a fucking lawyer. Like it's just like fucking nuts to me.
That is insane. Like, how do you go from making this to becoming
Apparently,
a lawyer?
he didn't know. I read this. Apparently, he didn't know that this movie had such a big following until, like, almost 2 decades later when they were, like, releasing it on DVD and they wanted him to do a commentary. At that point, he had no idea that, like, so many people love this movie.
Yeah. It has a huge
like,
following, and for good reason.
For good reason, because it's, like, it's such a quintessential, like, 80s slasher.
Yeah.
But the bonus of the insane ending.
Well, yeah, it like subverts all your expectations.
Because it's like I love slashers, but like, and like for 95% of this movie, it is a very fun slasher and I love it. But then you get to that ending and it just fucking sends it like over the top and you're just like, what the fuck?
And I mean, if you know, you know, obviously.
But
so
we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. Yeah, this is going to be like most of the stuff we like. Just kind of a rambler. We'll kind of explain basic plot details. But honestly, if you're coming here listening to us review Sleepaway Camp, you probably know what's going on already.
Chances are, if you're like into this scene, I would certainly hope you've seen this movie. But if you haven't, and you're still listening, then you should have listened to me and turned off the fucking podcast.
Or if you have watched it and are coming back, you know, welcome.
Let's I hope you love this movie as much as we do.
Yeah, exactly. So I really love
the opening.
I just love it's like the perfect like foreshadowing with like zero context.
Well, like, I just love it's such a good like mood.
Well, it's like you get you get exactly what you know is going to happen through the movie with like no dialogue, exposition whatsoever.
It's just this like awesome like 360 shot of like this lake, and then it goes and like you see all the like cabins, and each time it moves past something, you see like these like you hear these like disembodied voices.
Right.
But it's just like
of like what a normal camp day would sound like.
But basically. It's just like it just kind of it puts you in the mood because it's just kind of
because it's all empty, and then like as it like keeps cutting and going to a different like 360, you see like benches are turned over, or like a door will be off its hinges, or you know something will be wrong. In every single shot except for like the first few, because of the first few it's just a lake.
It's just the lake.
Like, it's beautiful. It's serene. Everything's fine, and then it goes into like the actual like
the camp.
And like everything's in disarray, but it's like very subtle. Like it's not like you can tell things are in disarray, but it's not like so much so that you're like horrified yet.
Yeah,
because it's just like tables tipped over or something, like
something's a little off,
like a picnic table in the middle of the basketball court that's tipped over. You know something's wrong, but you're just not sure yet.
The very last thing is where you see like a warning sign from like the sheriff.
Yeah,
and then you see the camp is for sale.
Camp Kerouac.
Arawak.
Yeah. Sorry. So that is like all foreshadowing because now we get an actual scene where all the kids are coming to camp.
Well, now first scene.
I'm sorry. It
is the bamboozle.
You're right. They bamboozle you. I can't believe because they do. This is very important actually. It's like a voiceover about how it's the girl's voiceover, and she's talking about how they used to go swimming with the dad, right?
Yeah. So here's what's like. Okay. So here's what's interesting, and I must be stupid. I must just be stupid as hell, because the first time I watched this, I apparently completely missed that they had two same-sex parents.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I'm apparently a total fucking moron, because somehow I missed when I first watched this that was.
Well, I think also because it was the 80s, they called him like uncle.
Yes.
Like he wasn't like.
But you get the flashback later.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you know.
It's not like blatant, but for a movie from this era, it is surprising.
Right. Well, no, it is, and you get the fact that they're supposed to be together.
Yes.
But they call him uncle.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where the disconnect came from.
Because it's a guy with his two kids on a boat, and then you see his partner, what they call the uncle. He's like on shore, and there's a woman jet skiing.
Well,
and like two like people driving the boat arguing.
And the one on the jet ski is very
scared
and doesn't want to do it anymore, but. You get the idea that, like, literally the people in the boat cannot hear her.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking around.
How fucking loud it is, yeah.
They're fucking around and they don't hear her. So, it's setting up things. You know how good movies should do.
Oh, what?
Because without anybody, like, dumping exposition, we just get the fact that, like, literally these kids in the boat cannot hear the one jet skiing.
Is it so wild to watch movies that, like, I don't know, don't...
Can you imagine in a new movie, they'd be like, oh, man, it's such a shame we can't hear her back there. I can't believe we can't hear her. We should do something about that. No, it's fine. What is the worst that can happen? They do some shit like that.
Yeah,
they
it's
have
just
to hold
like,
your hand through it.
I know they have to hold your hand, but it's just like it's just like two dumb like camp teenagers.
Yeah,
and that's it. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Well, and it's great. Well, and then so the dad is laying down, and the two kids are like fighting, and he tells them to stop fighting, and he gets up and they starts like looking over the lake, and
they push him into the water.
They push him, and it knocks over the whole boat.
Yeah.
And he's just playing with them in the water because they're about to go back on shore because his partner wants him to go back because someone's coming. I don't remember who, but
yeah, they have to meet somebody.
Yeah, so these stupid kids are switching positions. So the girl wants to drive the boat.
She's driving. She's not watching where she's going.
And the guy finally sees the two kids and the dad, and is like, "Turn the wheel! You gotta turn the wheel!" And like the one jet skiing is like screaming and trying to like tell them, and he's like, "Just give me the wheel!" And he like accidentally like trips over her and like hits the gear.
He accelerates it essentially.
So he accelerates the boat, and it like flies over the dad's head,
and it doesn't.
Well, because the dad's trying to get them out of the way.
Yeah, but basically, you see, it hits the dad and the boat, and then like the woman on jet skis, she's screaming. The so-called uncle on the shore is like horrified, and you see like the dad's body, and it kind of implies that like one of the kids died.
Well, because the shredded vest comes up,
but they don't tell you which one.
Well, and it's just so insane because like I love the kid and I love the acting by the kid in the water because you can tell it's just like shock.
She's just horrified, yeah.
Because she's like, you have to get them out of the water. Like you have to help them. You have to get them out of the water. Like she keeps just saying.
And it's just like you see like the dead body of the dad and like the life vest come up and you just hear her like screaming in the distance. It's great. But then it's like the next scene and the scene is so great watching it like on a rewatch because like it says it fast forwards 8 years. And it's a kid and his cousin now.
Yes.
They are going to Camp Arawak. And it's there, and it's this it's this girl's aunt. And she, for lack of a better word, is very strange.
Yeah, it never really explains why, but you get this idea that something is wrong.
She's like, a bit out there.
She's very forgetful.
The way she talks and like, I don't know, it's just funny because like once you know what's coming, like this whole scene is almost like it's very uncomfortable to watch.
Well, she's very like disturbed, which
Yeah.
is interesting that they kind of juxtapose that, because I'm sure in the 80s, like showing like a gay relationship and then showing that he potentially had relations with this woman,
Yeah.
like it's kind of a weird juxtaposition.
Well, the thing is,
But
like, I don't
like,
even think it's that, because, like, it's like,
I just wonder if they were trying to like do, I don't know if they were like trying to portray something there.
I think
I'm
it's
not
more
sure.
that the implication I get is because he has like a partner, but this is obviously 83. This is
Right.
long before.
Well, I'm not saying there's
like-
anything wrong with his like relationship.
Oh, no.
I'm wondering if like she went crazy, which is why he like maybe took the kids and like.
Oh no, so I don't think it's her kid. That's the thing.
Okay.
I don't think that's the
Okay.
case at all. I literally think what happens is some fucking thing in her head. But I don't think it's her kid at all. I just, because obviously people would ask like, well, why didn't the uncle take the kid? Because it's 1983 and because there's no such thing as
Right.
joint same sex like
LGBTQ plus IA
Yeah.
plus like rights
couples and
yeah,
rights don't exist.
don't
so
exist
they
at
of
the
course
in the moment.
give the girl to the next whoever.
Okay, that makes more sense. I just didn't know if they were going for something like that.
No, I think it's just that
Maybe I was reading too much into
it's
that.
just I mean, hey, look, like I said, I'm still kind of like baffled that I apparently watched this movie the first time and I didn't even pick up on the fact that there's a gay couple in it. But hey, you know what? Good for them, honestly.
Well, and not like one of those like in the 80s movies you always see these like weird gay couples, right? Like
Sometimes.
they're always like these like, you know, or like the gay like friend
Yeah.
or something like that. That's like the stereotypical the gay friend. I like how they don't really do that
Yeah.
in this movie.
Well, it's let's just say the change was coming.
Yeah.
Because you'll get movies like this, and I can tell you that I mean one of the most insane horror sequels of all time, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, is very very gay if
Yeah.
anyone's seen it, and it's also very like matter of fact about it.
In the best way possible. I love it.
No,
so
it's great, but it's definitely like I mean you can tell like filmmakers are more willing to kind of put that in there and not even like really say anything. I don't know, maybe that's why I didn't notice it, because it was like so casual. But then watching it now, it's like I immediately was like, oh, it's a gay couple. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, they're sent off to camp, and then we get like all these kids running into Camp Arawak, and then we get these weird ass like chefs, like
Specifically one.
they're like the cafeteria
Yeah.
like crew, and one of them is like just oogling the.
He's
the
like, oh, look at all that young chicken.
Yeah.
He says something about like
I could eat him up or something.
no, he says something. I can't fucking remember the line, but he says something about like them not having any like hair, as in pubic hair. He makes
It's
some
so creepy.
sort of weird comment.
It's so creepy. I hate. Ugh.
Of course, once you've seen the movie once, you already know what's coming. But yeah, it's like it immediately sets him up as a fucking sleazebag. But yeah, it's all these people, all these kids get to camp.
Yep. And it's like you get the idea that the camp is like kind of mixed age. Like there's like
Oh, yeah.
there's
There's
teenagers,
young, yeah,
there's
teenagers.
middle aged, there's elementary school. It's like a camp for all ages,
Yeah.
basically.
And I should probably mention the name of the girl is Angela, and her cousin is Ricky.
Yes.
But she does not. So far, she never talks.
Yeah, she's like non-communicative, because they even get a scene where they get like their bunks assigned and everything, and then she's in one of the bunks and is just staring at Ricky's old flame.
Yeah.
And,
Well, even like early on, like when they're coming into the camp, like she meets this kid who becomes kind of like almost like a love interest, and even like talking to him, like she just has this like blank.
Yeah.
I swear to God, when they
Like
fucking
a million-yard stare.
No, I swear when they like auditioned this movie, they must have just like been like, okay, give us your best like 1,000-yard stare.
Just zone the fuck out and
Just
we'll
stare,
see.
and we'll and you'll get it. Because she just has this like blank stare, and The implication, of course, is that, she was so traumatized and horrified from the events of watching her fucking dad get fucking boat run over him that she just withdrew completely. Which, again, there's no exposition of that.
No, but that would fuck someone up.
But in your head, Yeah. You don't need someone to be like, to come on screen and tell you, oh, blah, blah, blah. You just know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they put her in the, like, the cabin with, like, the other girls, the old flame. And it's like, there's this immediate, like, antagonism going on.
Well, yeah, they, like, almost instantly
They start picking on her.
Yeah.
A lot of this movie, I mean, a lot of it, you could say, deals with, like, bullying and shit. But, yeah, they're immediately rude to her. It's like they're eating, they're in the cafeteria, they're eating.
Yeah, and then you see, like, the chefs, they're getting ready for dinner, and they're putting this, like, they're boiling this gigantic pot of water, and they're about to throw a bunch of corn into it. And then it's in, like, the cafeteria, and then it's in, all the kids are eating, except Angela. Angela won't eat, so one of the counselors says, like, hey, let's take a walk. Maybe we can go into the kitchen and we'll
get you something you like.
Yeah, get you something you actually like. So, not knowing, he sets her up with the larger...
The fucking chef?
Fucking sleaze bag.
Yeah, because he's like...
monster.
Well, there's like... Because he, like, takes her there, he introduces her to the chef, and it all seems kind of innocent, and then, he gets a phone call, so that counselor has to, like, walk away. And the chef's like, oh, yeah, I'll show her around. Well, let's go into the walk-in closet. He takes her in the walk-in closet and immediately corners her. Starts, like, fucking undoing his belt. And then, her cousin comes in. He threatens the cousin and all this shit. They all run out. And he goes back to, like, cooking.
So he, like, looks at the pot and he's like, he needs salt. So, because he has to stand on a chair to, like, look over the pot.
There's like another chef there, and he ends up leaving and giving him a chair to stand up on. So
the tubby demon chef goes into the fucking into the walk-in closet to get more salt, and
there was a box that said tubby on it. Well,
yeah, that's why I say tubby.
I just wonder what that was.
So he's like putting salt in, and like you see two hands, and they like kind of shove him.
They shove him, so he's like
Like,
tiptoeing.
hey, careful! Don't you know I could die here?
He's like tiptoeing right over this fucking human-sized pot of boiling water, and then you see like he's like, "Come on, help me down," and then you see a hand reach and grab the chair,
and like start pulling it. And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
And you see another hand grab the chair too, and it pulls it. He falls over.
The giant tub of boiling, scalding hot water dumps all over him.
And you just see, like, a shot of, like, his hands. They're all fucked up. The other chef runs in. And you see the guy's face and, like...
There's boils all over it that are, like,
really,
pulsating.
Really good fucking
good makeup work. Yeah, really good makeup work here.
Like, lots of fucking detail. Because, yeah, like, there's, like, boils on his face that are pulsating. Like, it's all red and fucked up. Ambulance shows up, takes him away. The fucking, like... boss or whatever
the camp counselor, like the
main guy
boss
is like, okay,
so fucking schlubby.
Just get him out of here and don't tell anybody.
He's like, we don't want to cause a panic.
He like immediately like the other chef. He's like, hey, basically tells him, hey, you're the head chef now. Like you'll get like $30 more a week or whatever. Like,
and they all agree, and they all kind of like
say a word.
They kind of brush it under the rug.
They all brush it off. No big deal.
So next is we get, is this where, like, the one kid starts, like, kind of, like, putting the moves on Angela, where...
I mean, that's the next big one, but we do get a scene where they're all playing, like, baseball.
Oh, right, yeah.
Against, like, it's, like, the older kids, I guess, I think. They all play baseball.
We kind of get an idea, with this scene, they're just kind of getting the idea that, like, the older kids are really mean to like the littler kids, but then they also bring in some littler kids into the mean fold, I guess.
Well, we also get two great lines. One of them says, "Oh, fuck him. He sucks like dead dog dick or something," and then the other person tells him, "Eat shit and die." He's like, "No, eat shit and live."
Yeah, it's fucking.
It's
Oh my god.
but we get that. Then it's like a dance kind of almost.
So is the volleyball scene later, or is that?
It's later.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like a. Oh no, not it's like a social event. Everyone's hanging out, and of course, you get Angela. She's just sitting alone, not talking, and it's like these two like older kids and the three older kids, and they're like joking, like, "Go ask her out." Like,
Yeah.
"Are you chicken?" Blah blah blah. And
Well, so they go and try and ask her out, and like
she's not saying it.
Angela's, of course, not saying anything,
And they just immediately start picking on her.
Yeah.
Like, why are you so fucked up? Like, what's wrong with you? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. And then, her cousin comes in, sees it. They try to fight. There's like a scuffle. Everyone gets broken up. And then and then the kid who's kind of like, he likes her. He starts talking to her. He starts, telling her like funny stories. And you see her like kind of.
Well, and so him and Ricky are like pretty close friends, and
They're good friends, yeah.
Ricky's told him what has happened to
Yeah, and he tells her like,
why.
hey, Ricky told me, I'm sorry you had to see that happen to,
Yeah.
like, your dad.
Kind of is more sympathetic
Yeah.
to her and everything, and so she starts talking to him.
Yeah. And she, for the first time in the movie, actually, like, kind of drops the 1,000-yard stare, so to speak,
Yeah.
and actually talks to him. But in the meantime, the older kids are all going skinny dipping or whatever. And they're all, like, going out in the water. They're all going out and canoeing, and, like, one of them who was, like, picking on her is with this girl, and he, like, tips over this canoe.
And then she swims back to shore, and he stays underneath the canoe.
He stays underneath the canoe and just starts fucking around, and he's just like fucking around, like singing songs, and then you see someone's head like come up.
And he's like, "Oh, you!
It's you! What are you doing
And then
here?"
you see her. You see like a hand.
You see a hand take him and like shove him underwater, and then everyone's leaving, and they're all just like wondering where the hell he is, and they're just like, whatever, he'll get back whenever he wants to. So next day, some guy's like fucking cleaning all the shit up.
I love this scene because like all the dickhead kids like threw all the fucking
all the chairs in the water,
like the lawn chairs and everything in the water. And he's like, "Clean it the fuck up! Why did you go fucking clean it the fuck up?"
You
He's
can
all
get your fat ass and clean this shit up too.
He's all fucking pissed and everything. And then
And he fucking takes the canoe and tips it over, and it's the dead body. And earlier,
I do love this scene because he was also mentioning
water snakes
and like how he was teasing the girl because there's water snakes in the
at night. Yeah,
snapping turtles, and it's funny because when he tips him over, he has like bite marks and everything all over him, and then like a water snake
you see it crawl out of his mouth.
Crawls out of his mouth.
Again, great effects. And then in the meantime, there's like this one girl. I don't remember her name, but she's like.
Well, there's Meg, and then I can't remember the old flame.
Yeah, but she's like super mean towards Angela, and
well, because they're playing volleyball.
Angela's not playing.
Yeah, Angela's not playing. She's just watching, and then the kid comes over, like her new.
Yeah.
Like the
tells her
interest.
like, hey, they're having like a movie night tonight. Do you want to watch a movie together?
And she's like, yeah,
of course.
And so the girl gets pissed and like
she's like, don't you have somewhere to be? Why are you talking to boys? Like all this kind of shit. Start picking on her again.
Well, and then Meg's like, well, like if you're gonna talk to boys, if you're not gonna participate, you can just sit there and do nothing.
You don't
get to
socialize,
talk to boys.
nothing.
Don't do anything. Just super fucking mean.
It's great.
Super fucking rude.
Then they finish playing volleyball. There's I know there's a scene where.
Well, doesn't it?
I'm trying to think because I know there's a part where they're all at like the lake, and everyone kind of starts asking why the fuck Angela doesn't never swim, or anything like that. Because like the kid comes over and talks to her for a little bit.
I thought that was after the social.
No, because he does like he does that thing when he comes up behind her and it's like, guess who, and like blah blah blah.
Well, I thought that was after they like have that little kiss after the movie.
Maybe.
Because well, it's not a very important scene, but they do go to the movie, and then he
walks her to her cabin.
Walks her to her cabin, but like walks her around and gives her a kiss.
They kiss
again, and then they go their separate ways. It's kind of a throwaway scene, but we can also do the.
Well, it's like he kisses her, but it's obvious that she's like not.
She's apprehensive.
Yeah, I wonder why. We'll get there.
Well, I mean, we know why.
But yeah, then they're at like a lake. Everyone's swimming except Angela. He talks to her for a little bit, like sweet talks her, and then everyone's like, "Where the hell is your problem? Why are you afraid of swimming?" All this kind of shit. Because I know at some point after this, there's also a scene where they're all in like the cabin, and everyone's like picking on her because she never takes showers with them.
Right.
She always showers alone. And the main bitch is like, just like, what's the fucking problem? Like, have you not gone through puberty? All this shit. She says, what the fuck was the line? She's like, she's a real carpenter's dream, flat as a board and in need of a screw.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Well, because she keeps teasing her about like maybe she hasn't gone through puberty yet.
Yeah, like what are you hiding? Like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Which,
just all this fucked up shit.
You know where this is going. And then there's a scene where there's all these kids like having it's like the older kids having like a fucking water balloon fight or whatever. And then Angela's like walking around the camp, and one of them throws a water balloon right at her and like knocks her over.
Yeah.
Ricky sees it, yells at them. The fucking douchey camp counselor main guy. Oh, after they found the body, he's like very dismissive. The fucking kid who drowned, he's like very dismissive about it. He's like, "Oh, you drowned, it's no big deal. You don't have to like, it's fine, just fine." But the cop is like, "Okay, well, we still need to do like an autopsy to see like maybe there's something more."
Well, you also get this weird idea that like the head of the camp, like the owner of the camp, does not like Ricky for some reason.
Yeah, he's very
very, very, very rude to him because Ricky tries to defend Angela, and like the owner comes up and scalds all the children for throwing water balloons, but then also scalds Ricky for defending Angela because he used curse words.
Yeah,
and it's like, I need to see you in like
and we get and then like they're all like they all go away, and then you see the kid who threw the fucking water balloon at Angela. He's going back to their cabin, and he tells them before they go out, he has to take a wicked dump.
Oh, we should mention, because this is how the knife comes into play.
Yeah.
There's a foreshadowing scene because Ricky's teasing this one. They call him what? Michelangelo or Romeo? Mozart.
Yeah.
So they're teasing him, and because they make him like put whipped cream, like shaving cream.
A classic.
Shaving cream all over his face by tickling his face and putting whipped cream, like shaving cream in his hand. And he like gets mad and pulls out a knife and like starts
threatening them,
chasing them around with it. And then the camp counselor comes in and hides it.
Yeah.
So we know there's a knife in play.
We know there's it's out there. But yeah, we see the idiot who threw the fucking water balloon at Angela. He goes to take a wicked dump, and he's taking a shit, reading a magazine, and we see someone come in and they put like a long stick on the bathroom doors so that he can't open them. And then we see the knife.
You see the knife come up and like tear the screen.
The screen in the bathroom. He's like, what's going on? Is one of you fucking around? Like, what's the deal?
And it like cuts another hole, and then it's so insane because
this is some fucking madman came up with this.
Like, you see a stick with a fucking beehive
with a beehive on it. Like, some fucking lunatic came up with this.
Starts shaking. And he's like, "Hey, come on! This isn't funny. Let me out!" Funny. And he like tries to like get out of the stall, but the stick is there, and the fucking beehive falls down into the stall, and he like finally breaks free and like.
You just hear the body fall down.
Yeah, he like slumps down, and you think maybe he got out, but like then you see his hand, and it's all covered in like a bunch of sores.
Yeah, and there's like bees crawling out of him.
It like slowly pans up to his face, and it's just covered in bees.
Yeah, and we get a scene like where it's the main camp guy, and he's talking with the camp counselors, and this is where he starts getting like fucking like, he's like, I know it's him. Like he's
I don't know how he jumped to this conclusion,
he's
but
just fucking
I still don't understand how he jumped to the conclusion.
He's fucking insane.
He is fucking mental, and he's.
But yeah, he's just fucking going and he's just like, it's him, he's out to ruin me, like all this shit, like we can't, he's gonna make me close down, we'll never get people again, like all this shit.
When he's like super defeated too, he's like,
Yeah.
I'm never gonna run this camp again.
They're gonna like no one's gonna send their kids here anymore and all this kind of shit.
God. This fucking movie.
We get a fucking scene where Angela and her and then the kid who's like, you know, hot for her or whatever, they go out to like the lake and they're like running around and they start kissing and it's very like, you know, fun. And they keep kissing and then she's like laying down and he starts like kind of like going for her shirt to take her shirt off. And she just starts
gets uncomfortable.
She gets uncomfortable. He's like kissing her, and we get a flashback. We see the two kids. They're like watching their like their dad and his partner be intimate.
Well, they're like embracing it. They're not like having sex. They're just embracing each other.
Which again, it's like baffling that I fucking watched this movie and somehow the first time I watched it, I didn't fucking know there's a gay couple in it, even though there's a scene with two men in bed.
Well, they're like just embracing each other in bed, and like the two kids are just like kind of giggling about it.
But then
and
you get this fucking insane, and I don't even know what the fuck they're implying with this. Whatever it is, it does not make me feel comfortable, because it's like the two kids in bed, and the boy is like completely naked, and he's like pointing a finger at the girl, and it's like getting closer and closer, and it keeps doing this like fucking weird like 360 spinning effect. I don't even know what the fuck they're implying with that. I don't even want to know.
I don't want to tread there.
But it's one of those scenes that's like you see it just makes you like uncomfortable. And the scene's going, and then like Angela freaks out and is like, no, I can't do it. I can't do this. Runs away.
So she runs away, and the guy gets kind of like upset. So, is the next scene the one where they put her in the lake?
I'm gonna say it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the capture the flag one yet.
No, it's but yeah, they're at the lake again. It's just Angela alone. She's not swimming again, and again, main bitch walks over, starts picking on her, and then Meg, who's like, she's like almost like she's kind of a camp counselor too, but she's definitely like bitchy too. She also comes over and starts picking on her, and then they pick her up, and they start taking her to dunk her in the lake, while Ricky is trying to like help her, but the
fucking camp owner like grabs Ricky and is like, I know it was you.
I know you did this.
I know you tried to do this. Like, it's all weird to him.
He's like, what the hell? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, and they throw her in the water.
And the muscle guy comes over and is like, what the fuck are you doing with Ricky?
Yeah.
Like, and Ricky runs to help her.
But they throw her in the water, and she just, you know, they throw her in there, and it's like, it's funny because the first time you watch this, you're probably thinking, oh, she's probably scared of the water because, you know, of what happened, her trauma, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which, yes, but also,
no.
We'll get there. But yeah, they take her out of the water. She just looks completely fucking defeated. After this is when they do like the capture the flag game, and they she's like, Angela's not really playing, but she's like walking through the woods, and her cousin is like, hey, I got an idea.
Like, we'll flank them, you go out and
we'll sneak around through the woods, and I'll grab the flag. And as they sneak around, like, and the whole time, one of the things that starts happening is the main like bitchy girl, she's almost like jealous that this kid is like fixated on Angela, so she starts trying to like
get him to go for her.
Why do you go for her? Like, I'm so much like hotter and all this shit. And then I guess she's like telling him like, I know she denied you, like all this kind of shit. And they walk through the woods, and Angela sees her kissing the kid.
Well, so does Ricky.
Yes, they all see it. And, you know, Angela walks away all upset. Because I know there's a part where he tries apologizing to her and all this kind of stuff.
Well, he apologizes to her once while they're at the lake again.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was
Maybe
no.
maybe the capture the flag happened before.
It could have, but like he tries. I know he apologizes to her at the lake, and then again at like a social event, and just tries to like get her back, and she finally like. This is towards the end of the movie, but like it kind of leads up to something.
Something.
She finally relents and says like, "Meet me by the lakeside." But we have a lot more, so that's the that's
something. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
When she says that, that's when my fucking the hair on the back of my fucking
yeah.
perked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, because he tries to apologize to her multiple times. There is a scene where you find out that this like bitchy camp counselor named Meg is also like she's been hitting on the main.
Well, the main guy is like talking to all the counselors and is just like, okay, we'll just, like we got this big event.
Yeah.
Like let's make sure we keep an eye on all our kids, and it's kind of trying to keep an eye on everyone.
They're having like their big like festivities or whatever.
Yeah. And so he's also telling them that like I guess a few of the counselors have the night off, and one of them has to go camping with like
some of the little kids,
the littler kid group.
But one of the ones that has the night off is Meg.
Yep. So she like corners the owner and is like, "Hey,
remember what you said?
You said you still owe me dinner. Do you want to go out tonight?"
Oh yeah. And so she goes to like the the girls' cabin. It's like, "Oh, why do you look so excited?" She's like, "Oh, it's a secret."
She says it's a date. She says it's
a date, but she doesn't say who. Because a little shady. But she goes to like the shower, and there's like a line of girls, and she's like, are the showers on like next door? They're like, yeah, they're still on.
So she goes next door and like starts showering, and then
we get this awesome shot where it's like a dark hallway, and then we just see a door open, and then we just see this silhouette of someone standing there with a knife, and then she's just showering, and this whoever it is walks up and like stabs her
through the wall and like drags the knife down.
You see the knife dragging down as like more blood comes out.
It's like spraying from the wall, and then
in the meantime, the like bitchy girl is like trying to she's trying to get her Mac on with this guy.
Yeah.
And at this point, the camp counselor is like wondering where the hell is Meg, because he's like walking around the social event. He's like, "Has anyone seen Meg?" It's like, no one's seen.
Oh, not the counselor, the owner.
The owner, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Where's Meg? I don't know." And like he goes into like I guess the bitchy woman's trying to get with like another dude,
but she's not supposed to have men in her cabin, so
he hides underneath her bed, and he comes in. The owner comes in and is like, "Hey, have you seen Meg? Like, we were supposed to meet a while ago." And she's like, "Last I saw her, she went to the showers next door."
Yeah. So he goes over there, and by the way, this section is when the movie like fucking.
We're in the like third act.
This is when the movie goes fucking mental.
And I'll tell you the exact moment I always start to get very, very uncomfortable.
When the movie just goes fucking deranged.
Yes.
Because he goes next door, he finds her dead body, and you see like a giant fucking cut down her back.
And he's like, "I'm gonna get this motherfucker.
I'm gonna get him.
I'm gonna get this.
I had him in my hands, and I let him go.
I had him."
And then you see like one of the camp counselors. He like takes the kids out to like the woods to camp.
This is seriously. The last fucking the last 20 minutes of this movie
is great.
This director goes off the fucking rails.
Oh, it's so fucking great.
He does shit that no other fucking director
it's so fucking great
would ever touch. They wouldn't even fucking dare.
Oh, it's so fucking great.
It is so fucking off the rails, uncomfortable, horrific, disturbing shit. I'm was legitimately shocked the first time I saw it.
Well, he takes the kids, and they go in the woods, and there's a few of them that are upset, but they all lay their sleeping bags down or whatever.
Well, and it does foreshadow because one of them's wielding an axe, and the counselor's like, "It's not a toy. Let's get this going," because the counselor doesn't want to be there.
No. And then this is when the kid tries to apologize to Angela again, and she has her back turned to him, and then she's just like, meet me at the meet me at the lake after midnight or whatever. But it's just like, this is when I get disturbed, because I don't know what it is, but like, she has this look on her face when she says that, and when you've seen the movie, you know. Because when she says it, she has this look on her face where it's just like, it's like a sinister undertone to it. Like, meet me at the lake after midnight. And then he's like, yes, hell yeah. I'm gonna fucking get laid. Psych. But yeah, then the Ricky goes and he goes to like the social hall to get some candy.
Yeah, and he's like walking through the woods, and the fucking owner corners him and attacks him, and then just like fucking orangutan fucking
yeah,
like fist stomps him into the fucking ground like a fucking deranged madman, just fucking like fucking ape pounding the ground while the kid's on the ground. Yeah. It's fucking insane.
And then he looks like, I did it. I gotta get out of here.
He's like, I gotta go.
And then the fucking camp counselor with the kids, like, there's two of the kids, and they're like, it's too cold, I can't sleep.
He's like, all right, let's go back. I'll take you back. I'll come back for the others.
And then he takes them back, and he kind of looks at the other ones. They're all asleep, and he's like, okay, it's fine.
Well, and it's so fucking disturbing. You see, like, the vision
of the POV of someone, as they walk away, someone, like, just steps through the woods.
I hate this scene, because you see all the little children sleeping in their sleeping bags, and you see the fucking axe in the fucking fucking bottom of the screen,
and the scene just cuts,
and you're just like, fuck this movie.
And then the I'm trying to remember, how did they, okay, yeah, so the fucking owner is like running through the woods, and he like walks into an opening, and I love it, because you see a fucking archery thing. Little target.
He's like, oh, and then he's like,
oh, it's you.
It can't be you, and you just see someone like twirling an arrow,
a fucking arrow, and then just goes straight through his throat. And then, oh Jesus. Then there's a fucking scene where the main bitchy girl is like, she's like in her room, and then the fucking door opens, and it's like this like figure silhouetted, and it's like, the way they film it, it's like a total fucking like...
Well, because the bitchy girl's like curling her hair.
Yeah. Well, the way they film like the person in like the doorway is like a total like mindfuck, because it's almost like they film it in such a way that makes you think like, oh, is it Angela? Is it Ricky? It's like they did it in like a way. It's like, well, who the fuck is it? Is it Angela or Ricky? One of them. But yeah. Then she's like, I can't see you. What the hell are you doing?
It almost looks like Ricky, but it could be Angela.
Yeah, it's like they filmed it in a way to like fuck with your head.
Well, because they show it like silhouetted in light, so like,
but like the hair and
like
the
light is behind them, so it looks like, so the hair's not quite right, and the face you can like make out, but you can't tell which one it is.
Yeah, it's like a total. Weird. It's a weird like.
It's a very cool trick.
It just fucks with your brain. It just makes you uncomfortable. But she's like, I can't see you. Like, what the hell? And then the door closes, and like the POV shot comes closer, and she's like, what the hell do you want? And then they just because they fucking falcon punch her and knock her out. And then you see them take the fucking curling iron and put a pillow
over their head.
And then you see like they filmed this whole thing in like
shadow. Yeah,
you see like a shadow of the curling iron, and then it goes down, opens up. Then you hear like this burning noise, and her screaming. You know, use your imagination.
And then her hands come up and like, you know, curl.
Yeah. And then you see like the bed move, and like they just shove the body under the bed.
And then like push the bed back to the wall.
At this point, the camp counselor from the woods, he gets back to the woods, and he looks. And you see all the bodies of the children, and there's just like
like, I swear to fucking, like, I don't, like, this movie goes from like just a fucking mild paced fucking slasher to like 100 real fucking quick.
It's
like,
just deranged.
It just like gets fucking so like just deranged, and just like I mean, I don't. It's horrific in like a decent way, but like. Not to say, like, I want to see that, obviously, but, like, it's just so fucking weird how we got to this point, because there was, like, there's no, like, real, like, triggering thing that happens.
No.
But like it all fucking leads to this.
It just culminates in madness.
Because the fucking counselor sees like 4 sleeping bags just like covered in blood.
Yeah, covered in blood, and you see like bloody like heads too. Like it's like all at nighttime and kind of dark, but you can like make out like bloody heads and shit. And he like throws up. He's like, I gotta get help. And you see Rick. You see oh no. So I guess I fucked up my fucking timeline. Because I know you see there's a shot where you see Ricky like with his candy, like walking past one of the counselors, and you hear a phone conversation. And he's like, "What? What are you talking about? What happened?"
Oh yeah, and that's when the fucking owner corners him.
But yeah, they the guy like calls the police. The cop shows up. They're all talking about how there's a killer on the loose.
They all kind of separate. There's like 2 counselors each, and then 2 of them find Ricky like half alive on the ground.
Find him half alive. They find the body of Meg, and they're all still looking. And then,
well, like they're looking through the woods, and he's like, "Shh, do you hear that?" And like you can hear like faint singing.
This is so.
And he's like,
fucking good.
He's like, "Do you hear that singing?"
What it's that? So fucked up.
And then, like, shine a flashlight, and then you finally see, like, Angela leaning over Bob, like, so the boy's like head is in her lap,
and it looks,
and she's singing and like just,
and she's naked. You can tell she's naked. They're both naked.
She's just twirling his hair.
It all looks very innocent.
It looks innocent, like maybe they're just enjoying a lakeside.
She's like singing like a lullaby to him.
And they're like, Angela, are you okay? And like
then you get a flashback.
Yep.
This fucking deranged shit.
Her mother,
the aunt who adopted her,
yes,
is like, oh, I'm so glad we could have a girl. And it's like this fucking like weird. This whole scene is a fucking masterpiece. Honestly.
Like you look. Well, when I was sent a boy, I didn't really want a boy, and I thought you would be so much better as a girl.
Yeah, it's like, but it's like this 360 shot, and it all looks so fucked up because like
when it's like the fucking little kid is covered in bandages too.
He's covered in bandages, and he's like looking down. Well, they don't tell you that until like the end of the scene, because at first it's just like, I'm so glad we could have a girl, and like you can be you're an angel. I'll call you Angela, and like all this kind of stuff, like. But, I was just kind of upset when we first got a boy, because we already have a boy, and that's just, we couldn't have that. We needed to have a girl. But it's like the way they film it is so fucking disturbing, because it's like the whole room looks like empty, and it's like bathed in blue, and there's like it's like cold breath coming from her too. Like the whole thing is just, again, it's that thing where like everything's wrong. And because everything's wrong, like, your brain gives you the fucking heebie-jeebies just watching, because you're just like, what the fuck is happening? But then, yeah, they're like, we could not have a boy. And then the kid looks up, and then the flashback ends, and the fucking head
rolls onto the beach.
And then this is the most, like, insane shots.
Well, it's just like it's Angela like screaming.
She's not screaming. She's doing like this is why it's so
like
fucking
a growl.
Yeah, this is why it's so fucking disturbing, because it's like she does this like weird like growl, and like her mouth is like she looks like, if you've seen The Mummy.
Yeah.
Like the 1999 Mummy, that like
her mouth is like wide fucking open, like all the way, like almost like unhinged jaw.
Yeah, like open. Unhinged open, and then like the camera's like, oh my god, it's a boy. But then like you get this shot where it like pulls away, and it's just her standing there completely fucking naked, knife in hand, and like dick out.
Well, like covered in blood,
and just doing that like weird like like. And then it's just like, they're just like horrified, like, oh my god, I can't believe it. It just fucking ends.
Well, it like goes into this weird green filter, and then ends with just like the fucking frozen image of her like
growling,
unhinged jaw growling.
This ending is so fucking great.
The last half of the movie is just so unfucking hinged. It's just insane.
It's deranged.
Like,
it's fucking deranged.
I've rarely seen movies go that fucking hard. At
Yeah,
the end
I don't
of their
even
fucking movies.
Yeah, I don't know. Like this is I don't even. You have to see it because the ending to this is it's one of those horror endings that just fucking creeps me the fuck out every time.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Like sometimes like you get certain directors who just they somehow through some black fucking magic they just conjure up some fucking imagery that's like you just like your brain's like, why is this so disturbing? But there's just something about it.
Yeah.
Like the growl, that weird fucking growling noise, the look on her face, the flashback, the fact that it's so quick too. Like that scene, if you time it, it's maybe like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
But it's so quick that you don't even like get that. But one of my favorite little tidbits, and it also makes the scene fucking disturbing as hell, is they made a perfect replica of her face, like the actress's face. They made a face mask of it, and they hired some guy to stand in the freezing cold, dick out, and they had him wear her, like, face mask. That's how they got that scene. Because obviously it's not her.
Right.
It's not the actress. Because, again, this is one of those rare unicorn movies where you see full fucking frontal male nudity in it, too.
Yeah.
I think the first time, like, I heard of this movie, like, I think I heard that, like in a lot of places, obviously, this scene was fucking edited to shit. Because they couldn't show fucking dick on screen, I guess. But, like, yeah, they hired some guy. They made a perfect fucking replica of her face, like, doing that weird expression. And they made him wear it in the fucking freezing cold. Just stand there, dick out.
That's fucking mental.
And it's fucking such a mental.
It's effective, though. It's really fucking effective.
No, it's fucking effective. Like, I'll be honest. It's like, it's almost like too effective.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Because it doesn't look bad. And it's funny because, like, we watched it in fucking, like, we watched the fucking HD version, and it's fucking crisp.
Well, I think it has, like, a weird, like, in a good way, has, like, this weird, like, uncanny valley effect to it, where you can't, like, really comprehend.
Well, because it's, like, the disconnect of,
seeing.
like, her, like, feminine, like, face on, like, a very clearly male body. Just standing there. And the thing is, like, I mean, you can fucking rewind it and watch it, but I swear to God, when they fucking film the dude standing there with the fucking knife, his fucking body doesn't move.
Yeah.
Too. Like, it's just like a goddamn mannequin standing there.
That's what's so weird about it.
The whole thing is weird.
Like, it's so fucking, yeah.
It's
bizarre.
Like, it's just like every image that's being put into your brain is wrong. Mm-hmm. And because of that, like, you, like, just get the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's like that thing when you see something you physically can't make sense of, and your brain like almost like goes into like a fight or flight response. That's the ending of this.
Well, because you're like just overloaded with all this new information, and
that
you
makes
have
no sense to you.
Very little time to comprehend it.
And then the movie just ends. Just drops this fucking atom bomb on you.
All right, shitty to pretty. What would you give this?
Listen, this is
10.
I don't even need. This is the easiest 10 I've given out in my life. This movie is fucking.
It's so fucking good. Now I've not seen the sequels. We might watch.
We will watch the sequels. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, listen. Good luck topping that ending. Because that's
fucking crazy. Yeah.
Because it's like the thing is like it's a good movie. The first like hour and 10 minutes or whatever, like it's a fun movie. It's a fun slasher. It hits all the beats. It's got fun characters, fun dialogue. Like it's a fun slasher movie with like a very slight undertone of disturbing shit.
Yeah, and then it just goes full fucking
But then,
disturbing.
like you said, that last like 20 minutes, 15 minutes of just like endless carnage and just like deranged insanity, it pushes this to such fucking heights that you're just...
Well, because without that, it probably would have just been kind of like your average slasher movie, to be honest.
And it would have been fun, but it wouldn't be Sleepaway Camp.
Well, the director just the whole film crew just went fucking off rails.
They went
like,
fucking bananas.
They just fucking went just ape shit.
Yeah, no,
I don't know what the fuck.
You got the kids being murdered.
The fucking little kid being beaten half to death by the fucking
by the deranged camp owner.
Yeah.
The fucking scene where she's like, "Oh, meet me at the camp. Meet me at the lake after midnight." Like the whole thing, just like
everything, just builds up to this fucking crescendo
of just insanity,
insane and really good.
It's fantastic.
But, I mean, beyond that, the acting's good. The kids aren't annoying, which is always great. And the movie,
honestly, every time I watch this movie, I'm always surprised because I don't know, I love, I adore Friday the 13th, but those are the campers in those are definitely adults more. Every time I watch the movie, I'm always surprised at how young most of the cast in this is.
But they're not annoying. They do a really good job, I would say.
I will say there is for a movie that's it's kind of funny because I swear half of this movie is fucking teenagers and kids, and they swear like sailors, and I love it.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend this one. Yeah, there's not too much else to say about it. Just a damn good slasher movie.
It's a fantastic slasher.
With a just fucking incredible ending that you do not see coming from
There's no
anywhere.
way. There's no way.
There's no way anyone could see that unless they've seen it.
Unless you've seen it, because honestly, there's really no indication. It's just...
It's fucking insane. But yeah, definitely watch it. We have a job to do, though. It's the end of 83. We got a list.
We always have a list.
We got a list going. Best of the best. Well, sorry, let's start. Worst of the worst, best of the worst, and then best of the best.
Yes. Okay.
So, worst of the worst is pretty fucking easy. I mean, I'm not, listen. You guys fucking know what the fuck it is.
I mean, I would hope so because we hated this movie.
Fucking movie that we've watched this fucking in 83. It's fucking the Boggy Creek 2, and the legend continues.
It's just worthless.
There's nothing redeemable about this movie.
It's just a worthless waste.
It's like an hour and 32 minutes of fucking nothing. No one even dies.
A deer died.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
I thought, wasn't there at least one death? Or
I don't think there is.
There might not be.
I think there is maybe an implied death, but never on screen.
I think that's all we got was an implied death.
I think there's an implied death, which is probably what you're thinking of, but there's not
there's
no
not an
one
actual
actually
human
dies
being
on
dying.
screen. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, in literally an hour and a half.
In a horror movie.
Yes.
No one dies.
About Bigfoot. It's fucking stupid. Don't watch it. Just fucking ignore it. But that's the worst of the worst.
No, this is one of those movies that you struggle to find a single
There's literally no redemption.
There's no redeemable aspect.
No,
there really isn't.
There's nothing good I can say about that movie, and that's why for me it's worst the worst.
Yeah. No, it's worthless.
What would you give for best of the worst? I know what mine is. Because it's fucking hilarious.
Because mine is also hilarious.
Because I'm an 11-year-old apparently on the inside.
So am I. I mean, the movie I'm naming might as well have been made by a fucking 11-year-old. An 11-year-old weeb. Because mine is Bloodbeat.
Well, Bloodbeat. Okay.
Okay. Listen.
Bloodbeat, it's fucking... listen.
Listen, a movie about a samurai ghost thing who... That's also, extremely sexual for no reason. You remember the scene.
Where the samurai stabs people and she comes.
She comes when he stabs them.
It's fucking weird.
Because, for some reason, she and the samurai have a connection.
You know, I read up a little bit on that movie. Did you know they chose the samurai outfit just because they thought it looked fucking cool?
Like I said, an 11-year-old weeb.
Well, and then... The fucking ending with the fucking dramatic,
the fucking...
battle of the powers. It's just
this is a fucking...
Just swirling fucking, ancestor of World War II fighting.
Fucking, I knew you'd come.
What the fuck?
Oh, that movie is
That
so
is some
fucking
weeb shit.
insane.
That is some weeb shit.
That you know what that is? That is some weeb shit plus cocaine plus dick.
Fucking Bloodbeat. Now, I was gonna say, Suffer Little Children was
It's hilarious.
up there because that ending and the ending with the fucking superpower beatdown between Jesus Christ and the
You know, it's
devil.
funny because I swear to God, Bloodbeat, fucking Suffer Little Children. The endings have very similar
They
vibes.
do. There's always this like epic showdown between the ultimate
Good and
powers.
evil. And
But-
it's just
Because I had so much fun with it, and that fucking the vegetarian like scene where they eat fucking aliens, and how everything looks like a fucking penis. Listen, the Deadly Spawn. I'm sorry, takes it for me because holy shit, the fact that they thought that alien looked good and wasn't fucking problematic is the most hilarious shit on the planet.
Listen, sir, for me, there's no problem at all. It only adds to my joy of the dick monsters attacking grandmas
It was fucking awesome.
on their vegetarian brunch.
It was hilariously bad. I fucking loved the Deadly Spawn because of how bad the fucking... Now, the effects were good, but the monster design, holy shit, dude.
Listen, we got a kid hero too, which was surprising.
Yes.
We had a child versus dick monsters.
Yes.
We got adorable miniatures. We got it all.
The fucking ending with the fucking miniature, and he's like, whoa, like, you won't believe the size of the one I found in the fucking mountain.
Comes out of
the dick erupts out of the fucking mountain. Like, you can't fucking, you can't.
They did it.
They did that.
They did.
Now, the hardest one, though, for me at least, was Best of the Best, because...
We've had a lot of good ones. I mean, our last three especially were fucking great.
We had Psycho 2, Curtains, and Sleepaway Camp, which honestly...
It's funny, like, we have three fucking banger slashers.
Now, I loved Unknown Origin.
Great movie.
Really good movie. That was a contender. Mausoleum was pretty good.
Mausoleum was...
But it wasn't as good as, like, these.
Mausoleum was
but...
more, like, trashy good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. But,
Shout out to the Final Terror.
yeah, Final Terror was good. Like, there's a lot of good stuff here. I think... Okay, so I was thinking about this as we were recording this. I don't know whether to go with Curtains or Sleepaway Camp. Just because...
I know what I'm going with.
Like, Psycho 2 is really good. Like, don't get me wrong.
Fantastic movie.
And the ending is really good, but I just, like... And the ending just is fucking rock solid because it's... Again, it's like Sleepaway Camp, but, like, less insane because it, like, subverts your expectations. And
Yes.
you have no idea what the fuck is going on. And then just Norman Bates hitting a fucking woman with a shovel.
A grandma with a shovel.
Just
Great.
fucking pile driving her with a fucking shovel.
And you get
like,
and then it ends with a fucking metal album cover.
yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. So you get that. But honestly, Curtains, like, subverted a lot of my expectations. I had no idea what to expect going into it. And it kind of had that creep factor. Like, it was pretty creepy. There's a lot of, like, this very disturbing imagery in it.
It's a great looking movie.
Like, there's a lot of fucked up shit that goes on in that movie. The fucking the sleazy fucking
director?
scumbag director that sleeps with all his stars and shit and is fucking horrible and gets fucking pile drived into a fucking window and like
It's great.
but I don't know, like I love how there was like two murderers and shit like that. So I thought Curtains was really good, but Sleepaway Camp has a special place. So I'm going to hear yours, and then I'll make my final decision because I want to know what yours.
Well,
is.
mine is Sleepaway Camp, because I agree with you. Psycho 2 is fantastic, a fucking amazing sequel that honestly, it's one of those sequels that like is better than has any right to be.
Yeah.
But not only that, for me personally, it's a fucking perfect sequel. Curtains is a banger, fucking banger, visually just, if it was a cake, I would eat it. Visually just beautiful. And like the plot's great. The whole movie's fantastic. But Sleepaway Camp, it's just like, it's such a, for me, I love slashers, and it's such like a quintessential slasher where it hits all those beats that I love from 80s slashers, and then you get to the ending. And it just pushes it so fucking far out into the what the fuck territory that I think it's super close. It's super close.
Yeah, it was for me too, because I didn't know what to choose, because I like both of them for different reasons. Mm-hmm. But I think I agree with you. Like, Sleepaway Camp, I don't know, just like something about it. Like, when I first watched Curtains, like, I'm trying to compare when I first watched both of them, right? Because Curtains I saw on the podcast. Sleepaway Camp I watched that one Halloween. I think you recommended it to me.
It was. I think they put it on Prime for like one Halloween.
And I was like, okay.
Or it's probably always on Prime because you have
Shout Factory. So I was like, okay, I'll watch Sleepaway Camp. I've heard a lot of good things. I'm going to watch it. And I think, honestly, if we're going by sheer just horror movie standards and how good the movie is, I think Sleepaway Camp, because it made me feel way more disturbed than Curtains. Like, Curtains did have that certain...
The thing about Sleepaway Camp is it's funny because, like, it's almost, like, cozy for me. Like, it's kind of weird, but, like, a lot of 80s slashers, like, they almost give me, like, a cozy feeling. And the, like, Sleepaway Camp, like, the camp vibes, the fall vibes, like, the lake... It's very kind of cozy almost.
Yeah.
And it's like you're watching it and it's just like it's a very fun movie to watch for me. Like, it's genuinely fun. Like, all the quirky dialogue. But there is that like menacing, disturbing, fucked up like undercurrent through the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then you get to the ending and it's just like boils over the top.
Oh, absolutely. That's honestly, I'd probably say Sleepaway Camp too. I think that's like 1983. Like, we had a lot of good movies.
I'm not joking. I could watch Sleepaway Camp. I could watch it every year. I'm not even joking. Like, I think it's that good. It's one of those. It's up there with like those great 80s slashers for me.
No, I agree. Honestly, I agree with you, and that's probably why I just slightly above Curtains.
Yeah.
Because Curtains is a damn good movie.
Curtains is a great movie,
and it looks
Curtains is very overlooked.
The cinematography is so fucking good in Curtains. Like, it's so fucking visually striking.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, Curtains, like, I mean, the fucking ice skating scene. Curtains, banger.
It's so striking, and like that's. I love Curtains, but yeah, Sleepaway Camp is just quintessential. Like, it is such an overlooked slasher movie.
No, yeah, it's such like, I don't know, like it's one of those slasher movies that like you just, if you're into this kind of shit, I'm sorry, you cannot.
You can't ignore it.
You can't not love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you're into like Friday the 13th and like Nightmare on Elm Street and like 80s slashers with like their weird concepts and like quirky dialogue and all this shit, you have to watch Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree 100%.
And the fact that it's like, it was low budget and it was made, I mean, people forget this at this point, but Sleepaway Camp was not studio made.
No.
It was low budget. There's no big names in it. Everyone was pretty much a fucking nobody.
Yeah.
That just makes it even more like...
No, I agree. I think it's a lot. It has that more, like, indie movies can do it, you know?
Oh, yeah, you can. And listen, indie movies can look fucking great, too.
Because the cinematography in Sleepaway Camp is still really good.
Yeah, it's very... Yeah, like, I can't even imagine watching it in anything other than fucking high def, because watching it in high def and, like, those colors, they be popping.
Definitely. So yeah, that was 1983. We got through it. 1984 is next.
Oh, baby.
Probably got some good ones in there. Probably got some really shitty ones. So, we'll see and you'll listen. So,
You will listen.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for 1983. Closing the book. We got Sleepaway Camp. Never fucking watch Boggy Creek 2 in your life. Don't ever fucking do it. It's a waste of time. And then check out Bloodbeat, because holy shit. And, if you're feeling, up to it.
Hey, listen, Red Letter Media ripped us off.
Yeah, they did.
They talked about Bloodbeat.
Yeah, they also did The Melting Man, too, recently.
Yeah, they ripped us off.
So, we did it first.
It's true. We watched the Orgasming Samurai movie first.
And we watched The Incredible Melting Man first, too. I mean, if you technically want to go that far.
Yeah.
So...
Facts.
I mean, have they watched a lot of movies we are going to watch?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, but just ignore that, okay?
Ignore that fact.
We beat them to 2 movies.
We beat them to the Orgasming Samurai movie, okay? That's all that matters, goddammit.
Orgasming Samurai movie. Just the fact that you can say that, and that's
the fact that you can say that, and that is a movie that exists.
That actually happens in the movie.
Yeah, I think when we watched it, I was in my head, I was like, am I imagining this? Like, am I dreaming right now? Like, what am I actually watching this unfold?
Or if you want to see a bunch of dicks attack people, go watch The Deadly Spawn.
Yeah.
If you just want to see dicks attack people, and the one of the worst designed aliens I've ever seen in my entire life, please go watch The Deadly Spawn.
Yeah,
it is hilarious.
Watch Bloodbeat and The Deadly Spawn, and you'll have all the sexually charged cinema.
One is intentionally hypersexual. One is unintentionally hypersexual.
I know.
So
unless someone wants to tell me, that they purposely did it.
I doubt it. I legitimately think they thought that alien looked fucking awesome.
They just wanted to make like a worm-looking thing, but when you add a mushroom tip, dicks
and kind of veins, it just doesn't look right. It just doesn't start to look right.
Hey,
but
good for them.
For They Mostly Come Out at Night, this has been Will.
This has been Alex.
And we will talk to you all later.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to go penetrate myself.
Hypersexual samurai
I'm going
ghost.
to harakiri myself.
Fucking
sexually.
Dick alien.